Bueno, sigamos grabando un poco de Street Fighter a ver si terminamos los tutoriales para seguir entrenando. Armor effects. Let's start by going over how armor works. Armor is an effect that prevents your... Esto ya lo hemos visto. Esto creo que fue lo último con el que terminamos la última vez. Drive Impact. Ahí está. Sí, pues porque no se está cargando. Y porque quería limpiar el celular y le puse fue el otro forro. Que quería limpiar el celular y le puse fue el otro forro. Pero se cargó bastante, 74. 10% me parece bastante. Entonces, armor lets you fight back from a defensive position. Armor is incredibly useful, but it's not without a weakness. For example, drive impacts can absorb. ¿Por qué no escucho? Dame un minuto, reseteo esto. Pum. Pum. Ya, estaba desincronizado. For example, drive impacts can absorb. When armor breaks occur, armor break message will appear. No drive impact moves with armor to a single hit. Esta parte ya la hemos hecho en el anterior. Fíjate, no se guardó, yo la estoy Armor break super arts. Continue. Yeah. About lock state. Let's do a quick review of drive impacts. If your opponent is in the corner and you hit them with a drive impact, they'll be slammed against the wall and they'll be defenseless. Even if you're blocking when this happens, a crush will appear. Okay, good. However, there are some situations where this crush state won't occur and your opponent won't take any damage even if they block a drive impact in the corner. Okay. This occurs if your opponent blocks an attack and is then forced to block a drive impact. What? Immediately afterward with no gap in between, referred to as a lock state. Think of it as your opponent being locked in block recovery. Okay. No está mal. Al menos es una mecánica autobalanceada. When this happens, a lock message will appear for the blocking player. It's common for the lock to occur when you immediately drive impact during an attack sequence. Keep this in mind when crafting your offense in the corner. Okay. Está cool que esté autobalanceado. Types of blocking. Blocking is the backbone of any fighter's defense, but even blocking changes slightly depending on whether you have any drive gosh left. When you have a drive gosh stocked up, you can defend against attacks with drive block. However, after using up all your drive gosh, you will enter burnout, which means you won't be able to block with the same finesse. Let's look at what that means. Okay, drive blocking. You can think of drive blocking as your standard defense, and as long as you have drive gosh, you can drive block anything, normal attacks, special moves, and super arts without taking any damage. Okay, however, every attack you drive block will drain your drive gosh. Okay, and if all you do is block, your drive gosh will be empty before you know it. You have to either move away from your opponent or wait for your drive gosh to recover, or drive parry to build it back up yourself. What? When you run out of drive gosh and enter burnout, your ability to block weakens. This is really a dangerous state, okay? If you block special moves and super arts while in burnout, you'll be unable to completely shrug them off and will suffer cheap damage. Okay. As a result, you won't take as much damage as an actual hit, but it will still be enough to KO you if your vitality is low. And that's not all. When you block attacks in this weakened state, you'll have to wait slightly long before you can move again. Your counter attacks that normally work after blocking might not reach in time. Oh, todo se vuelve mierda. Attacks that once left your opponent vulnerable after you block them will leave your opponent with advantages, needless to say, burnout is something you want to avoid whenever possible. Of course, if you're hit with drive impact and your opponent while in burnout, you'll be still. Dime. ¿El celular o la batería? ¿En serio? Ah, no mucho. La batería sí. At all costs. The one silver lining is that blocking attacks while in burnout will cause you drive gosh. ¡Oli! ¡Oli! Mira, ahí estás en la cámara. ¡Oli! ¡Mira, mono! ¿Cómo estás? Well, because your drive gosh to recover more quickly in burnout, going on the attack is a good way to avoid being put on the defensive, but it might also be wise to prioritize the recovery of your drive gosh. Okay. Raspberry recupera Dragcars. Eso tengo que cortarme. Using projectiles. Projectiles are moves like my Hadouken. If a move throws a fireball or similar toward your opponent, that's a projectile attack. Looks projectile is sandblast, okay. Projectiles don't just fly straight forward horizontally. Some travel along the ground, some through the air, and others at varying angles. Every character with projectiles uses them in different ways, so it stays sharp. Take Sandblast for example. It travels quite far and can shut down your opponent's offense from a considerable distance. Think of it as a long-range tool for controlling space. Projectile clashes. When your opponent throws a projectile and it clashes with your own, the projectiles will cancel each other out. Let's see what happens when projectiles cancel out. I throw a Hadouken and you use Sandblast to cancel it out. Okay. As a rule, when two projectiles clash, they'll cancel each other out. However, if two types of projectiles of different strengths collide, the stronger one will win out. Special moves lose to overdrive arts, which lose to super arts. Okay. Let's say a special move projectile and an override projectile collide. In this case, the override projectile is stronger, so it will blow out the special move and keep going. In short, projectiles will only cancel each other out when they have the same move strength. Alright, time to try it out. I'm going to throw a Hadouken, use an overdrive Sandblast to tear right through it. Okay. Nice. Getting the hang of the projectile hierarchy, hierarchy. You're going to see a lot of projectiles clashing once you're in a real fight. Knowing how to use your stronger moves to win these projectile wars is certain to prove useful as you walk out in the fighter's path. That'd be cool. Entonces, continue to next tutorial. Types of invincible moves. Some moves allow you to attack or move while negating your opponent's attacks. These are referred as invincible moves. O sea, este sería el armador de combat. Invincible moves aren't necessarily effective against every possible attack. For example, my Shoryuken and Luke's rising uppercut will negate an opponent's jumping attack. Allowing us to attack with impunity. We refer to these kind of moves as having anti-air invincibility. Okay. Let's have your experience anti-air invincibility yourself. I'm going to come out at you with a jump attack. I want you to use rising uppercut to intercept it. Roma. You blasted right through my jump attack without so much of a scratch. But anti-air invincibility is only effective against jump attacks. If your opponent is on the ground, their attacks will win out. Remember these well. There are also moves that are invincible to an opponent's throws and projectiles. Should you have time, it couldn't hurt to look into what types of invincible moves your opponents have at their disposal. Finally, there are some overdrive special moves and super arts that are completely invincible against all forms of attack. Moves with invincibility against specific types of attacks are used to shut down parts of your opponent's strategy. Fully invincible moves, on the other hand, are best thought of as well as your opponent's offense in order to take it completely. Okay. Type of anti-airs. Many of your opponents will avoid fighting on the ground, instead opting to come at you from the air with jumping attacks. Being able to intercept and neutralize these attacks is essential. We refer to moves that can be used to beat jump attacks as anti-airs. Anti-air moves vary by character, but as a general rule can be defined por puta. Estoy grabando en el mismo día que era el episodio anterior y no sé si poder leer. As any move that has an upward angle. Luke's crouching heavy punch is one such example. I'm going to come at you with a jump attack, match my timing, and use crouching heavy punch to intercept me. Nice. Well, getting a feel for how to anti-air your opponents. Each anti-air move has its own quirks when it comes to reach and positioning. But in general, you can go wrong by recognizing your opponent's jumps and executing the move as soon as you can. Another option is to quickly use jumping light attack or medium attack during the rising part of the jump arc. Some characters can also throw in the air, but are effective air-to-air choices when positioned close to opponents. Same characters also have special moves meant specifically as anti-airs. Luke's rising uppercut is one example. Master these special moves and you will have anti-air covered in no time. Anti-air mindfulness. Now you know a thing or two about anti-airs, but there is one problem. In real fights, you never know when your opponent is going to jump at you. A successful anti-air strategy includes keeping the possibility of your opponent jumping in mind. So how do you train yourself to be ever mindful of jumps? When you're starting out, focus on distance and positioning. Learn the exact distance where your opponent's forward jump attacks can reach you, okay? Being slightly closer to your opponent than at the starting round is a solid reference point. At this range, focus only on watching for your opponents to forward jump. Make time to practice these movements, okay? Once you have this positioning down, think about when your opponent is to jump. Ask yourself, if I was his opponent, my opponent, when would I want to jump in? If I was, no sé cómo funciona ese tiempo. When your opponent uses projectiles and other moves to keep you at bay, you want to go over them with quick and easy forward jumps, right? Well, so does your opponent. Always keep that in mind during a fight. When your opponent uses projectiles and other moves to keep you at bay, you want to go over them with quick and easy forward jumps, right? Well, so does your opponent. Always keep that in mind. Eso ya lo he leído, lo acabo de leer dos veces. Next, use your long-reaching space control moves from inside and outside their range. If you have projectiles, from there, pay attention and wait to see if your opponent forward jumps. If they crack under pressure and jump at you, hit them with the anti-air. If you can intercept your opponent when they jump, momentum will be on your side. Likewise, if you fail to anti-air your opponent, they'll get to dictate what happens next. That's the kind of give and take that defines the situation. Still, using moves to control space will help narrow down the possible types of situations where your opponent will jump in, much more so than simply waiting. Beyond that, you will just have to keep fighting to own your intuition. Gracias por los consejos. Los consejos son muy buenos, pero no me están haciendo casi practicar. Estoy mal leyendo que te sale el control. Traits of level 2 super arts. You can use level 2 super arts by spending 2 parts of super art gauge. Just like special moves, you can cancel into them from certain moves, but there's something that sets them apart. You can cancel into level 2 super arts from overdrive special moves as well, okay? You can read up on cancels in the beginner sections. No, creo que en el Street Fighter 5 también les llaman uno eso. Para este punto, creo que es un juego de viaje en el tiempo, porque si no estoy mal, creo que programé los videos de Street Fighter 5 para después en el año, o sea, este mismo año, pero más adelante. Pero estoy subiendo unos videos de Street Fighter antes. Entonces, si hago referencias, nos vemos en el futuro. Ay, qué risa. Let's have you give it a shot. After hitting with overdrive flash knuckle, cancel into eraser. Y debajo de la derecha, ok. Overdrive flash knuckle. ¿Cuál es overdrive flash knuckle? Abajo de la tómala. Muy bien. Great. Now you know how to cancel overdrive special moves into level 2 super arts for expanded combo options. This is an excellent way to increase not only combo damage but opportunities to use overdrive special moves. Experiment with different overdrive special moves, and you're bound to make some interesting discoveries. Traits of level 3 super arts. You can use level 3 super arts in exchange for 3 bars of super art gauge. Like level 2 super arts, you can cancel into them from certain normal attacks and unique attacks, as well as from overdrive special moves, but that's not all. You can also cancel into them from normal special moves. So que las otras dos no se pueden cancelar. It's tough to grasp how meaningful that is from a mere explanation, so let's have you try it out for yourself. Está bien que me quieran enseñar leyendo, pero puta, me hacen bostezar demasiado. First, acabo de comer, porque hice una pausa para comer, para grabar los dos videos diferentes, independientemente del día que salgan. Hijo de puta, leer tanto en un juego de peleas te hace dormir. Yo entiendo que no se intenten explicar, pero háganme jugar un poquito más. First, use a crouching medium attack and cancel it into Sandblast. Crouching medium attack. and then cancel it into Sandblast. Then cancel Sandblast into Pale Rider with abajo derecha, patada to complete the combo. Ok, so primero esto. Es que me toca hacer todo lo de la palanca junto. Creo que es lo único de jugar estos juegos que son con palanca y teclado con control, porque a veces como requiere que sea continuo el movimiento o está pensado para que sea más como fluido continuo con la palanca, a veces no te sale con el control. No me sale fluido. Ah, es que es un medium kick. Por eso no me salió la primera vez. Porque es un medium kick. Yo hice medium punch. Ahí lo logré cancelar. A veces lo estoy haciendo con el joystick. Tendría que poner otra cámara de esas como para que vean mi mano. Es que tú eres un poco sucio porque tengo un protector negro y como aquí también. Sí, pero para que vean mis manos. A ver si me pueden dar consejos porque mis dedos son popochos. Pero con el joystick a veces me sale más fácil. Ok, salió. Yo lo cancelé demasiado rápido. Dice con el joystick, no con la flecha. No, salió. Porque ni siquiera le pego el sandblast de lo rápido que lo hice. Lo cancelé demasiado rápido. Y claro, como el man se le lanza encima, si no le pega el sandblast, no me va a dar suceso. Hagamos la primera parte bien. De 3 veces que lo hice me salió bueno. Fuck, no alcanzo a cancelar a tiempo, verga. Ahí estoy utilizando el joystick. Sigo con el joystick. Creo que ahí debe haber sido suceso, pero lo hice con el joystick, cosa que no me agrada. No fue suceso. No tiene... Abajo medio, abajo pata media. No tiene, ¿cómo se llama esto? Video tutorial. O sea, como para verlo, como si se debería hacer. Reset battle, return to installation, next high control settings, tutorial list. Porque sí estoy haciendo. Ay, creo que lo cancelé muy tarde. Fuck. Es que lo difícil con el joystick es la parte final, pero lo difícil con las flechas es como la mitad. No entiendo. Ahí. Con el joystick. No entiendo si ya lo hice, si no lo hice, qué putas. Tutorial list, canceling into super arts. O sea, ya lo tengo hecho, ya me lo contó y no me dijo suceso en ningún momento. What? Ah, no, espera. No, este no es el que estoy haciendo, el que estoy haciendo es este. Me perdí. Reverse, no. El que estaba haciendo era el nivel 3 de los Super Arts. Cancel to Super Arts, Overdrive. Have you give it a shot? Invincible moves, projectiles. Qué raro. You can use level to super by spending 2 bars of esto ya lo hemos visto. You can cancel to Overdrive, Have you give it a shot, Esto ya lo hemos hecho. Sí, esto o lo hice y no me di cuenta, o no sé qué pasó ahí. Pero mira, no lo contó. Ahí me marcó success. O sea que esto no lo estoy haciendo bien. Medium kick. Pero no lo marca como success. Eso prácticamente es lo que hay que hacer. que no estoy pudiendo hacer ahora es el cancelar. Estoy usando flechas. Me demoré demasiado en sacar el otro movimiento. Con el joystick como que me demora menos, pero no sé por qué. Ahí fue con el joystick. ¿Qué? Ahora me está pasando al revés. Con el joystick está saliendo la parte final y no está saliendo el inicio. La mitad. Coño. Salió con flechas. Por eso hice el gesto. Pero ¿por qué no lo marca como success? ¿Estoy haciendo algo mal? First, use a crouching medium attack and cancel into Sandblast. Then cancel Sandblast into Pale Rider to complete the combo. Ahí está haciendo un crouching medium kick. Voy a hacerlo con un crouching medium punch. Me cuesta tanto ir de la mitad ahora. Vamos a haciendo el Sandblast. Verga. Que me está nunca la mano en el dedo. Verga, no puede ser. Ah, ¿por qué no sale el puto este? La cagué. Por muchísimo. Estoy cambiando joystick. Ahí cambia joystick. El joystick se siente raro. Pero si me sale, me sale. Creo que estoy cagando en la pantalla. Porque se me traba el dedo cuando sí sale el Sandblast. Fuck. Y no me lo marca como success. No entiendo. O sea, lo voy a saltar por ahora porque no entiendo. Si es que lo he hecho 3 veces, porque no lo he hecho muchas veces. Pero ya lo he hecho 3 veces. No sé qué está pasando. Getting a feel of how these combos flow together. Pero es que no se siente bien. Return to previous explanation. Como que y no me siento bien no haciéndolo bien. Pero es que no entiendo si es que no lo está marcando porque a veces que sale. Patada media. Patada. Para mí ahí salió. Pero no me la cuenta. ¿Por qué no me la cuenta? Hacemos rápido. Bueno, se cancela el Sandblast. Estoy pegándole con el medium kick. Lo que no logro cancelar es el Sandblast. Tiene que ser así rápido. Es inmediato. Si eso me da success, tiene que ser inmediato. O sea, apenas diga ¡sa! El man ya está tirando el oro. Y no me dio el success. Y le pegué 8 hits. Para mí eso ya es logro. O sea, jueputa, le pegó a toda mierda. Hola, papá. ¿Cómo te fue? No, aquí no te ves. Te ves como desde acá. Aquí no te puedes parar. En un ángulo. Así. Ahí no te ves. ¿Cómo te fue? ¿Cargó? Se descargó. Ah, pues pon esta a cargar. Este es USB-C como el del iPad. Como el del... Sí, como el del iPad. Ah, bueno. Vamos a salir muy bien al final y no me sale en la mitad. Cambio el joystick. Y ahora sí me sale el Sandblast. Sigo en joystick. Comprarme un fight fighting stick. Mi cabeza para hacer la parte final. Literalmente cancelé el Sandblast apenas doy. No lo cuenta. O sea, no lo cuenta. Este es un light kick. Light kick. Low kick. Ahora cambia flechas, me quiero decir. No, o sea, voy a continuar si no me quedo ahí toda la vida. Para mí ya lo hicimos varias veces. Si no lo puedo hacer perfecto, porque no me sale todas las veces. Pero ya lo he hecho unas cuantas veces. Getting a feel of how to... No. Cancel a normal move into a special move and cancel the special move into use level 3R. It's worth noting that this combo can be started from one of your standard space controlling normal attacks by cancelling it into special move and then level 3 super art. Even stray hits can be converted into serious damage. Plus, you don't need to use drive gosh. Very handy. From your opponent's perspective, they risk losing a huge amount of vitality in an instant after getting tagged by an unassuming and normal move. A high pressure situation, to put it simply. Pues sí, o sea, buscarle una abertura con un ataque normal, meterle un especial y al especial meterle un cancel está buenísimo. Hablando de eso, yo me pongo a buscar fighting sticks. Me estoy acercando demasiado aquí, muy íntimo con ustedes. Voy a tratar de poner la cámara más atrás como allá. Que bueno, voy a empezar a hacer como el anime este de hola. Getting used to capitalizing on this kind of situations takes practice. Once you're able to rattle off these combos consistently, though, your opponent is going to be more cautious every time your super art gosh is full. Creo que el zoom de esto está... no, está al máximo. Los bailes nada que hacer. O sea, pensé que se podía... tal vez, o sea, mandar más para atrás la cámara, pero no se puede. También necesito cambiar esto. Getting used to capitalizing these constitutions takes practice. Once you're able to rattle off these combos consistently, though, your opponent is going to be more cautious every time your super art gauge is full. Continues the next tutorial. Ese no me gusta nada porque si no lo termine. Anytime you can move from taking damage, blocking, or getting up off the ground, you can enter the command for a move to have it execute as soon as possible. Refer to moves performed this way as reversals. The moves you can perform as reversals are special moves, drive arts, super arts, drive impacts, and drive parries. Es como un get up en Mortal Kombat, creo. Successfully perform a reversal. No, es un reversal, o sea, es la misma mierda. Es por decir un get up reversal. O sea, es igual, es la misma mierda que en Mortal Kombat. Es un reversal. A reversal message will appear. Okay, using reversals. I want you to focus on reversals when you're getting up. Por ejemplo, getting up reversal, get up reversals. After being knocked down, use a fully invincible move like my overdrive shuriken or Luke's overdrive rising uppercut as a reversal while you get up. Do this and you'll be able to strike back against opponents who try to attack you as your recovery. Let's have you try out reversals right here and now. I'm going to knock you down with a sweep and attack you as you get up. Try using an overdrive rising uppercut as reversal to knock me away. Fuck. Mientras que me levanto. Verga, estoy metiendo muy tarde. That's what she said. Creo que estoy metiendo los inputs mal. Fuck. No, el joystick no, las techas. Sí, lo estoy haciendo mal. No entiendo cuando quiere que lo coloque. Let's have you try out reversals right here and now. I'm going to knock you down with a sweep, then attack you as you get up. Try using overdrive rising uppercut as a reversal to knock me away. Cuando él me esté atacando mientras que yo me levanto. Ahí está. Cuestión de timing. Well done. You used a fully invincible move to stop my fencing its tracks. You probably saw the reversal message too, right? Yep. If you don't have a fully invincible special move, you can use a super art instead of using a reversal. Ven, bostezo cuando estoy putamente leyendo. No, es que no me gusta leer, me gusta leer, pero no cuando estoy haciendo de peleas. Pero cuando estamos haciendo la práctica, no. And your opponent sees it coming and blocks it. You need a massive counterattack for it to keep your defense unpredictable. It can be better to block the system. Okay. The next tutorial. Rapid cancels. Let's discuss a technique known as rapid cancelling. You can rapidly press light normal attack to quickly cancel the move's recovery and make yourself safe. It's a good way to attack without leaving yourself open. Only light normal attacks can be rapid cancelled. You can use this technique with medium and heavy attacks. Additionally, every character has a specific moves they can and can't rapid cancel. In Luke's case, he can rapidly cancel his crouching light attacks. Okay. But not standing light attacks. When learning a new character, it's worth learning which of their light attacks can be rapid cancelled. Okay. Making what? Let's put rapid cancels to test. As mentioned earlier, Luke's crouching light attacks can be rapid cancelled. Walk up and hit me with a chain of 3 crouching light punches. 2 to 2. Looks like you've got a hang of connecting quick light attacks together. Rapid cancel it to start a sweep defense of your quickest attacks. Luke can start with his crouching light kick, which hits low, then open up his opponent's defenses. From here, he can combo by cancelling into a special move, quick startup. Light attacks barely leave an opening for your opponent, making rapid cancels an effective way to attack at close range. Okay. Hoy me cambiaron de personaje. Jumping backdashing throws, okay. When your opponent attempts to throw you, you can get out of it with a throw escape. Yep. Pardon. We went over this before, right? Yeah, in this lesson we're going to explore the ways we can avoid throws by jumping, giving you more defensive options. You can read up on throw escapes in the beginner section. Okay, I know this. Strikes can knock you out of the start of your jump, making them slightly risky, but depending on the direction of your jump. You can create space or switch options, positions with your opponent. You can also jump attacks to go on the offensive. Even if your opponent chooses to do something other than throw you, jumping will put you in the air, reducing your overall risk. Blocking while alternating between throw escapes and jumps is an effective way to avoid your opponent's throws. Jumps are even more effective at avoiding special move throws. Okay, special move throws can be defended against with throw escapes, and there are dangers since they can't be blocked either. However, if they whiff, they'll leave the user wide open. If you manage to avoid one by jumping, you'll have a great opportunity to counterattack. Another way to deal with the special move throws is with backdash. They're invincible against throws, both on startup and while moving. Pick whichever method suits the situation best. Finally, let's look at how you can go the offensive after using a jump to avoid a throw. And as an example, you can walk up to your opponent, make it look like you're going to throw them, so they attempt throw escape and then vertical jump in front of them instead. Your opponent will be stuck in throw recovery and you'll get to attack on the way down. This is particularly effective when you have your opponents in the corner. Keep that in mind. Continue to next tutorial. Okay. Hay unas páginas que estoy leyendo en automático y no estoy poniendo atención. Attacks that prevent recoveries. Some attacks will knock the opponent down and prevent them from reaching knockdown recovery. When this happens, hard knockdown will appear for the player who has... Oh, lo que pasó ahorita con Ryu. ¿Alguien me quiere explicar qué mierdas pasa con esta bostezada de mierda? There are several attacks that can cause a hard knockdown. Perhaps chief among them is the stripping crouching heavy attack that many characters have. Okay. There's another option shared between all the characters. Perform a throw as a punch counter. And it will become a hard knockdown. Okay. This applies to both normal throws and special move throws. Okay. Alright, try causing a hard knockdown of your own. Don't hold back, hit me with the crouching heavy attack. Crouching heavy attack. What the hell? Yes, that. Hard knockdown. Next, use a throw escape. No, what? Next, use a throw to cause a punish counter. Go ahead, throw me while I'm using breath break.
Oh, you shouldn't have.
Eso cuenta como hard knockdown y counter. Okay. Did you notice how that caused a hard knockdown? No. ¿Y qué esperes a la puta madre? You can use recoveries after a hard knockdown, so there is no need to worry about your opponent doing a backward recovery. You'll have a free reign to attack your opponent as they get a hard knockdown. No puede recuperarse con hard knockdown. These aren't the only moves that cause hard knockdowns. Some characters have special moves and super arts that can cause hard knockdowns, and some have a specific moves that cause one punish counter. It's worth knowing which, so you know when to be wary of them in battle. Okay. Ay, mira, ¿cómo se llama este? Ken era el que usaba. Ahí está, era Ken. A counter hit occurs when you hit a... Puta. Oh, puta madre. A counter hit occurs when you hit an opponent before their move comes out. Specifically, is when you hit an opponent after the move begins to come out, but before it reaches the point where it can actually hit you. When a player lands a counter hit message will appear on their side of the screen. Okay. Landing a counter has two benefits. First, the initial counter hit itself deals 20% more damage. Second, opponents on the ground will suffer extra knockback, allowing you to put moves together that wouldn't normally combo. If you strike an opponent while they are recovering from an attack, you'll cause a punish counter, which is, as the name implies, a punishing version of a normal counter. You can use a punish counter by attacking your opponent after their move is able to hit you, but before they're able to act again. When a player lands... a punish counter message will appear on their side of the screen. Punish counters deal 20% more damage, just like normal counters, but they also cause even longer combos. That means you can land even more damaging combos of a punish counter. It's also worth remembering that landing punish counters with certain moves can change the way your opponent reacts to the hit, allowing you to get follow-ups in ways that wouldn't normally be possible. Let's see this in practice. I want you to cause an actual punish counter and observe the difference in how opponents react to the hit. I'm going to miss with a special move on purpose, so hit me with standing heavy attack as I recover to cause a punish counter. A ver, miss. Punish counter. Ahí está el punish counter. Pero ven que no aparece la esta de success. Why? Excellent, just like that. Did you notice that the way I got knocked back and the damage I took was different? Once you're able to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes with punch counters, they're going to be much more wary of throwing out moves carelessly. For now, just focus on blocking and counter-attacking fully invincible moves like my overdrive shuriken. Okay. Drive gush recovery. The drive gush dictates the flow of the fight. Let's look at it in more detail. The drive gush drains when you use the impacts and drive parries, among other moves. It will automatically refill over 10 by these recovery pauses for a set period every time something causes the drive gush to drain. The refill speed of the drive gush is affected by your actions. It refills faster when you're on the ground than when you're in the air after jumping. Most importantly, it refills fastest when you're moving forward. Okay. The drive gush also refills when you land attacks on your opponent. The amount recovered is the same regardless of whether the attacks are blocked or not. Okay. As a rule, the stronger a normal attack or unique attack is, the more drive gush it will recover. ¿No me dijiste que se recupera la misma cantidad? The stronger a normal attack or unique attack is, the more drive gush. Okay. The amount recovered by special moves varies from move to move. Okay. That means landing a string of attacks in a combo is a fantastic opportunity to get drive gush. That said, if you use a drive rush in the middle of a combo, you'll stop recovering drive gush until the combo ends. Drive rushes are excellent for dealing extra damage, but you'll want to keep very well with your drive rushes. Ni siquiera me acuerdo ya cómo hacer un drive rush. You can also recover your gush by drive parrying attacks, by studying your opponent's moves and attack sequences in search of opportunities to drive parry. You'll discover more ways to replenish your drive gush, making you a more powerful fighter. Drive gush puta nariz. Crush depletion. Next, let's look at ways to drain your opponent's drive gush. Once you understand the basics, it'll be easier to push your opponent into burnout, and from there, the real mind games can begin. The most basic way to chip away at your opponent's drive gush is by making them block your attacks. Heavy attacks drain more drive gush, and light attacks, special moves drain different amounts on a per move basis. If your opponent fails to block your attacks, it won't drain their drive gush, with a few exceptions. Specifically, landing a punish counter, drive impact, or super art will drain your opponent's drive gush. Remember this when you're looking for ways to force your opponent to burn out. Okay, punish counter, drive impact, super arts. You can land punish counters by hitting your opponents while they're recovering from a move. This will deal additional damage, leave them reeling for longer, and chip away at their drive gush. The amount of drive gush you can drain varies by move. Generally, larger moves that leave you vulnerable or harder to land punish counters. Ya no estoy poniendo atención a lo que estoy diciendo. Simply landing a drive impact will drain one block of your opponent's drive gush. To land a punish counter will drain 1.5 blocks. That's a big deal. It's important to counter your opponent's drive impacts before you practice your own. Pull this off and you'll be given a massive opportunity. You'll drain a huge chunk of your opponent's drive gush and have an opportunity to land a big damage combo. You're behind. This stuff. Okay. Finally, there are super arts. Like drive impact, super arts will drain your opponent's drive gush in the head. A level 1 drains half a block, a level 2 drains 1 block, and a level 3 drains 1.5 blocks. When your vitality is low, your level 3 super art becomes a critical art, which drains 2 blocks of drive gush on your head. The best time to land one of these is when your opponent's drive gush is low. Using a super art will put you at an advantage. Okay. Feigning while in burnout. When your drive gush empties, you'll enter burnout. I believe I explained as such earlier, but just to reiterate, burnout is a truly precarious state in which you can't perform any drive gush related actions. You also take cheap damage and run the risk of being stunned. You'll automatically recover from burnout over time, much like the way your drive gush recovers, and just like your drive gush, it won't begin recovering immediately. Once you learn how the system works, you'll be better able to battle psychologically with your opponents. As with your drive gush, burnout recovers faster when you're on the ground than when you're airborne. The rules of recovering gush by landing attacks are the same as with your gush. The biggest difference with the drive gush is that blocking attacks will speed up your rate of recovery from burnout. During burnout, you're unable to move for a longer period of time after blocking attacks. This means you'll be more susceptible than normal to offense. But if you're able to buckle down and defend against your opponent's onslaught, you'll recover from burnout more quickly. El tutorial está muy bueno, no lo voy a negar, o sea, te explica absolutamente todo. Pero para una persona como yo, me está colmando la paciencia. Now let's take a look at what happens after you recover from a stun. When you're in burnout, getting hit by a drive impact in the corner will stun you. You completely helpless, but when you recover from stun, you'll also recover from the burnout. With this in mind, let's consider how to attack and defend while in burnout. When you enter burnout, your top priority should be to avoid ending up in the corner as much as possible. If your opponent hits you with a drive impact while you're in the corner, you'll be stunned. To make matters worse, while in burnout, you have precious few ways to avoid drive impacts. The only options are to jump or use a super order. It's a difficult situation and costs. On the other hand, if you put your opponent in burnout, you should go on the attack immediately. You can deal cheap damage, threaten stun, and have more damage opportunities than usual. Keep this in mind as you pressure your opponent into the corner. Using special moves to deal cheap damage, defenses, and inflicting stun right before they go in burnout is ideal. Needless to say, once a player is in burnout, fights get quite tense. Understanding how burnout works and using its nuances to your advantage will undoubtedly make you a better fighter, as well as you can know to apply yourself. Yeah? Perfect parry details. Hay perfect parries. Como todo en la vida, hay perfect parries. Perfect parries occur when you perform a drive parry. At the very instant an opponent's attack would hit you, do this, and you'll see through the attack in a moment of supreme focus, allowing you to act before your opponent. Think of it as an improved version of a standard drive parry. A successful perfect parry shot for a moment. It will be as if time itself has slowed. Use this to assess the situation and strike back at your opponent through the openings in their attacks. For example, if you're parry a light attack, you can use to strike back with a light attack of your own. If you perfect parry a heavy attack, you can use either a medium or a heavy attack. Once you're used to it, you can even start considering punish counters, making the reward for perfect parries. The explanation up to this point assumed you were perfect parrying strikes. The explanation up to this point assumed you were perfect parrying strikes, but things are different when using them against projectiles. When you perfect parry a projectile, time doesn't stop. It looks more or less the same as when you perform a standard drive parry. What's the benefit of perfect parrying a projectile? Normally, when you block a drive parry an opponent's attack, you get pushed back slightly. Perfect parrying negates this. Essentially, perfect parrying makes it easier to close in on an opponent who try to keep you out with projectiles. If you miss the timing for a perfect parry, a standard drive parry will come out instead, making it a low-risk option that you should put to use against projectiles whenever you can. Right, for perfect parries. O sea, yo como 5 minutos leyendo y no me he puesto ni siquiera a tocar el control. Alright, time to look at a few practical ways to use perfect parries. You can go for perfect parries in a variety of situations, but it's time to use them is when you can see your opponent's move. Coming and react accordingly. Quiero terminar el tutorial en este capítulo para por el siguiente dedicarme a verdad a hacer cosas. A good example is any powerful moves that's slow to execute but will leave you unable to strike back if you block. Special moves where your opponent charges forward or ones that create an advantageous situation at close range are common examples, but the most obvious move to try a perfect parry against is drive impact. Having you to try it for yourself will be faster than explanation. Por fin! I'm going to use a drive impact when it seems like it's just about to hit you. Drive parry it. A ver. Fuck, muy tarde. Ahí lo ves. Muy temprano. Muy tarde. Muy tarde. Ahí fue perfecto, ¿no? No. Pareciera perfecto. Como ya no me marca suceso, yo no sé, este vuelve a estar raro. Ahí lo hice re temprano, ya que sí. Chao. Ahí, perra. Hey, there you go, nicely done. One strife impacts perfect parry, make it risky. Okay. There you go, nicely done. One strife impacts perfect parry, making it riskier for your opponent to throw out low risk moves. It's a common way to use perfect parries. Este sí ya se baja más. If you're slightly off with your timing but hold the parry command, you get a standard jump parry instead. You'll be able to reduce the risk from a failed perfect parry. O sea, si no lo hago perfecto, igual me va a permitir parrearlo, que sería en cierta forma negar el daño un poco, pero entonces no tendría sentido bloquear los golpes, ¿no? Porque sería mejor parrearlos. Recovery details. After you use an attack, there is a period of time where you can act or move. This is referred to as recovery. Recovery is what leaves an opening after you or your opponents use a move. The longer the recovery on move, the easier it is to land a counter attack. Heavy attacks are a great example. They can deal serious damage to your opponent, but it's not a long recovery to match. Having a thorough grasp of the reach and recovery of the moves is key to avoid getting hit back if you miss. Block recovery. Every move has a recovery period, but blocking a move has a recovery as well. This is referred to, as you guessed, block recovery, or block stun. The stronger the move, the longer you'll have to wait to act after blocking it. Okay. If the block recovery of a move is shorter than the attacker's recovery, the blocker will get to act before the attacker. In these situations, the blocker should throw out a fast attack from the tables or try to counter the attack itself. If the block recovery of a move is longer than the attacker's recovery, the attacker will maintain their advantage. How much advantage? That depends on the move they use. But, as a rule, if the defender tries to attack when they're disadvantaged, the attacker can use a fast move to get a counter. Throw to break the defender's guard and more. But put simply, you likely don't want to push a button at a disadvantage. Okay. The importance of confirms. You've learned a lot. You're probably feeling like you're getting the hang of how to use your various moves. Let's go one step further and learn how to use those moves to their fullest. That means being aware of your opponent's actions when you use a move and adjusting your response depending on what comes next. This is what we refer to as confirms. For example, let's say you do a forward jump attack with your opponent, connect into a cancelable normal move after landing and cancel that into a special move. If you can ensure these hits and turn it into a combo, you'll be able to do it. The issue is that almost all the special moves open in opponents. If your opponent blocks all of your attacks up to the special move, you'll be left at a disadvantage and risk getting counter-attacked. This is why confirming is vital in battle. For example, visually confirm that your forward jump attack was blocked. Then, instead of going for a normal attack, elect to throw them. Doing this lets you eliminate the risk of your special move being blocked and break your opponent's defense at the same time. Of course, if you can confirm that the first hit connects on your opponent, you can then continue on with the rest of the attack, ending with this special move. Watching your opponent. Qué episodio tan largo, perro. Vamos a mirar la lista de tutoriales. ¿Cuántos nos falta? Confirms come in many forms. Most prevalent are hit confirms and situational confirms. Let's use the previous jump attack example to explain this in more detail. Imagine you do a forward jump attack but your opponent is doing anything. In this situation, it's difficult to know if your attack is going to hit or be blocked. If you can visually confirm that your opponent used a large attack on the ground or threw a projectile at the time you start the jump, that changes things. You can anticipate that your jump attack is going to hit your opponent during their recovery. From there, you can focus your attention on landing a powerful jump attacks. Confirm the opponent's situation when you use an attack, and if it seems like your attack is going to land, proceed under the assumption once your attack actually hits. This is what we call a situational confirm. Situational confirms are limited to the jump attack situation we just discussed. You can find them invaluable. At any time you're fighting for control of the neutral, they're a key element to improving your overall game, so try keeping that in mind when fighting others. Hit confirms. Next I'm going to teach you about hit confirms. Hit confirms usually come in play during close range engagements. As an example, if you hit an opponent with your 2 crouching light attacks and cancel it, you'll be able to convert a quick, easy to use normal attack into a powerful combo. But if your opponent blocks your attacks and still cancel into special moves, giving your opponents a free punch opportunity. In these situations, it's essential that you only cancel into special move when you've confirmed that you hit your opponent with the crouching light attack. The trick is to treat the 2 crouching light attacks as a sequence. Pay close attention to so that by the time the second crouching light attack comes out, you know whether or not the first one hit. If you did, then and only then you should cancel into special move. Let's have you try it yourself. I'm going to wait here and defend against your attacks at random. Your goal is to hit me with the 2 crouching light attacks. If they hit, combo the second light attack into rising uppercut. Otherwise stop.
Rising uppercut.
Great. That was far from easy, but you pulled it off with flying colors. If your opponent blocks your attack, switch gears and try something else. It takes practice, but it's worth it. At first, you're going to have trouble hit confirming light attacks consistently. Some characters can connect medium attacks into other normal attacks, which might make it easier to get the hang of it. Of hit confirms when you're just starting out. Just remember, practice makes perfect, and hit confirms are no exception. Continue holding. The neutral game. Here we're going to discuss the importance of neutral game. This refers to one of the aspects of positioning, attack, and defense in the battle. What we call the neutral game encompasses the battle for positioning at mid-range, with both players moving carefully on the ground to stay just outside the range of the other player's attacks. The neutral game is comprised primarily of 3 elements: pokes, counter-pokes, and whiff punishes. Let's go over each of these elements and the role they play in fights. Pokes. First, pokes. Approaching your opponent with an attack from a range where you know it will make contact is known as poking. Any move you use to poke your opponent is known as just that, a poke. Pokes are the simplest and most fundamental element of the neutral game. Poke serve as a powerful deterrent to opponents who move back and forth with or within your attacks. In this sense, moves like far-reaching low attacks are being particularly well suited as pokes, as they can reduce risk upon opponents who are attempting to move backward. Opponents who become frustrated with dealing with pokes and choose to retreat will eventually find themselves in the corner. Once they're at a significant disadvantage, backing up to adjust their space will be off the table, and they'll have a few options for dealing with rapid attacks. Pushing forward and poking your opponent is also simple. It's also simply a good way to apply pressure. Yes, estos textos counterpokes. Next up are counterpokes. The counterpoke only attack when you think the opponent is going to move or attack, knocking them out of whatever action they attempt. The most important thing to remember about counterpokes is that if your opponent doesn't take an action, your attack will likely miss. This means if your prediction is off, you'll leave yourself wide open. As such, it's important to carefully decide which moves to poke with. Medium attacks with long reach and fairly short recovery are generally best suited to counter poking. Also, since you and your opponent are trying to deter each other with similar moves, it's not uncommon for counter pokes to collide. To come out on top of situations like this, it's important to look into which of your moves match up with best against your opponents, offering special moves. Miss with an attack and you leave yourself open to others for mercy, but it's possible to use this to your advantage. Counter poke with a cancelable move and you can put the entire special move command in advance anticipating it will hit. It will hit. Thank you very much. If your prediction is correct and the move hits, you will cancel into special moves. If you miss, you will do nothing, reducing your risk in turning special move commands in advance like this is known as buffering. No matter how buffer special moves, your counter poke will be that much more rewarding. When using Luke's crouching medium kick as a counter poke, but try buffering over right. If you enter the command too late, you run the risk of accidentally using a special move when you miss with your attack, so be careful with your timing. Alright, attempt to try it out. I'm going to move back and forth while slowly advancing. Try poking with a crouching medium kick while buffering over drive flash knuckle. Okay. No estaba bloqueando, no está moviendo. Nicely done. Sometimes your buffered special moves will miss if you counter poke your opponent from too far away. Change up the special move you buffer depending on the situation to get as much damage as possible. How about with punishes? Next, with punishes. If counter pokes are the answer to pokes, then with punishes is the answer to counter pokes. But put simply, with punishing is about hitting your opponent with an attack when they miss or whiff. When going for whiff punishes, try moving back and forth to match your opponent's movement. Do your best to stay just out of reach for your opponent's attacks. Understand the ranges of your opponent's attacks, make them whiff, and make them. You need full awareness of your opponent's ability to quickly react when they whiff. Whiff punishes are arguably the most difficult aspect of the neutral game, and weaving all of these together in an actual fight takes a great deal of practice. Still, mastering whiff punishes is well worth it. Think about it. You'll avoid whipping with moves of your own and make your opponent pay for every opening that they leave in. Even better, your whiff punishes count as punish counters. Heavy attacks with large openings are one thing, but with punishing medium attacks and others that recover more quickly is much more difficult. Stay just out of range of your opponent's attacks and focus on punishing as soon as you see the move. Let's have you try whiff punishing to get a sense of it. I'm going to whiff crouching medium attacks just outside of range. Hit me with a standing medium punch while I'm recovering, then go straight into a snapback combo. Es inmediato. Tiene que ser inmediato. There you have it, the whiff punish. Think you've got it down. They'll serve you well once you master them, but it won't be easy. They take considerable focus, making it difficult to quickly respond to your opponent's jumps and dashes. I explained lesson 1 pokes. The lesson 1 pokes. If your opponent moves toward you and you match their spacing by backing up, you'll soon find yourself in the corner. Don't obsess over landing with punishes. Take a balanced approach, mixing pokes and counter pokes as the situation calls for them. Real world neutral. Starting to understand the thought process underpinning the neutral game. Think back on all the things you've done by fill up to this point. Sí, leer y leer y leer, no he hecho ni mierda, o sea, no me han dejado hacer ni monda, porque si quieren me poner a practicar bien lo que me explican. How many of them involve the elements of pokes, counter pokes, and whiff punishes without even realizing it? A lot of them, right? Yeah, for sure. These 3 elements from a triad of sorts, with each having its own strengths and weaknesses. What? Okay, whatever. What matters most in the neutral game is thinking about what your opponent is trying to do in any given situation. Do everything you can to elude your opponents while ensuring that strikes land. In real matches, you will have to consider dashes, jumps, your opponent's projectiles, and more. You must build experience so that you can remain calm and collected no matter the situation. Here's the next tutorial. Acabamos el tutorial. Oh my freaking god. El tutorial es bastante completo, pero es demasiado texto y poca práctica. Eso no me gustó. Voy a dejarlo por ahí por ahora porque ya voy a abrir 25, pero lo quería acabar para poder continuar en el siguiente, que es lo que voy a hacer, continuar en el siguiente. Peleando. Recuerden darle like, suscribirse y escribir en los comentarios. ¿Les gusta más el tutorial de Mortal Kombat 1 o el tutorial de Street Fighter 6? El de Tekken 8 no me acuerdo casi cómo es. Tengo que mirar cómo es el de Tekken 8 porque no me acuerdo. Nos vemos en el siguiente. Bye.